Wonderful. Yeah. Welcome. Lovely to have you. So today's class is a myofascia yin release class. On the Mondays we do a vinyasa class, which is more dynamic, and it's in the yoga philosophy considered to be yang, doing, while in the Eastern philosophy they've got yin and yang, and the yin is the being, the stillness. So it's a very different part of your energy body. We hold poses for longer periods of time. And the reason for that is because we stretch into, physically, we stretch into connective tissue. And connective tissue is different from muscle and tendons, and it needs more time to stretch. It's the simple reason physically behind it. Another reason we hold on, or we hold shapes longer, is because it has a meditative effect on us. Being still, being quiet. I mean, the energy today is also very still and quiet and peaceful out here, and we can cultivate that for ourselves. So whether you're here for physical reasons, or whether you're here for checking in and enjoying a bit of meditation and going inwards. And then the last thing is potentially emotional baggage or resistance. And we hold on to things in our body that we don't always understand why. And injuries might come. That is really the deeper layers of our being. So maybe you're there, and it could be that when you are in a shape that you're surprised about an emotion that comes up or a thought. And that's okay. That happens. It's also where the subconscious and the conscious meet when there's more quiet time. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell what this class is about. We'll start with a short still seat. Now, one thing that is also important with this practice is there is an edge. So we're not going to be like a warm bath, but there is a difference between bitter and sweet, bitter pain and sweet pain. So there's this sweet points, but for example, to be able to meditate and sit still, the body cannot be talking too much to us. If it's like, oh, I can't breathe, my hips, then you're defeating the purpose of being here. And that's why I often suggest to start off with, to just sit on something higher. When in doubt, give yourself more space in any pose. Just give yourself more space so the body can relax. So there are blocks in there if you want to sit on the block. So let's just take this moment and settle into a seat. And then when you close your eyes, it is a commitment to being present here in the space and a commitment of self-care. So as you close your eyes, and as you commit to sitting still for just a couple of moments, notice how that makes you feel. Depending on how busy your day has been, it might take a couple of rounds of breath, a little bit of time for you to actually really arrive here on your mat. Your mind might still be busy with things that you were doing just before arriving here. And it's a beautiful time of the year, but it's also quite a busy time of the year, lots going on, and a very outward social time of the year, which is so wonderful. But this is time for you, a gift to you, as beautifully as you gift your time to your friends and your family during the festive season. This yin practice is a gift of time for yourself, to recharge, to connect with your body, with your mind, with your emotional world, maybe even with the deeper source, your soul, that inner voice. Now pay some more attention to your breath. Your breath is always with you. Try to deepen and slow down the breath. If it helps you, you can count around 4 to 6 counts to fully breathe in. And around 4 to 6 or maybe even 8 counts to fully breathe out. There's a little bit of effort to fill up, but it's gentle and soft to breathe in, to fill up the lungs. And then there is a effortlessness, just letting the air escape gently, softly, in a sense of surrender and letting go on the exhale. Let's sit still for a couple more rounds of breath. We have our body and we have our mind, our intellect, we have our emotional world. They all are important. In yoga, we try to acknowledge all of the layers of our being, but also really go into feeling. Any thought or feeling is welcome on your mat. We don't have to push anything away. We don't have to override. There's no wrong or right and no judgment here in this space. So allow yourself to just be free, to feel, to notice the sounds, smells, temperature, maybe some sweat dripping today because it's a warm, beautiful day. And always return to the breath. Feel the movement of the breath, the air entering the nose through the throat and how the lungs fill up. And because the lungs fill up, they need space into your chest. So you feel a little bit of space between the ribs of the rib cage. And on the exhale, you soften the skin, the bones, the muscles. And I love working with an intention for your practice, for your rest of your evening. And in order to make that even simpler, what is the word of today? Is it patience? Is it love? Is it kindness? Is it rest? Is it calm? Is it me, self-love, me time? And I've already actually started to think about my word for 2023. What is it? What is the year going to be about? What's going to be the red thread? Of course, life will happen, but what will be my anchor? My deeper layer of my intentions, my choices. So if you like to place your hands in front of the heart, a gesture of union, right, left, yin and yang. Maybe a moment to pick your word, your intention, or dedicate your practice to someone that you know is in need. Always beautiful to dedicate your energy and time to someone in need. We may bow our head towards our hearts, an acknowledgement of all the beauty and all the different layers of who you are, of your being. And then we can come onto our backs. If you have a prop, now the wooden blocks might be a little bit hard on the skin. So if you have a towel or if you want to put something over it, I'm also happy actually to give this one. You can use, oh, you've got a cork one. Maybe you use that one. Yeah, because I'm used to it. So you can place something under your heart. So just come onto your back and then make sure that the chest and the heart is nice and open. You can bring the soles of the feet to touch and let the knees pull wide. The important thing here is your neck. So your heart, your chest is open. So just check in with the neck. If the head is not hanging, it's resting on the floor and it's happy. Otherwise, you can place something under your head, like a mini pillow, a block or whatever it is. And then this is a lovely heart opener, and at the same time, a release for your hips. There's one more adjustment that I can give you, and that is if your hips feel too tight for you to be able to lie here for a longer period of time, you can put something on each side of the knees, blocks, pillows, or if you have a bolster, you can also place that just to give the body the opportunity to soften and relax. I'll look around. So this practice is quiet time. I'll look around, and if I see something unsafe, I will let you know. Otherwise, I'd like to just leave you in your own meditative space. Are you okay, Maria?
Yeah.
Where to put the block? So maybe use your bra. If you, that is kind of where your block would be. So right underneath the heart, but I'll come and check you out. And then you can let the palms face up. This is an external rotation of the shoulders. So I would actually place it there. I'm not sure if it's in the middle now. Okay. How does this feel? Yeah, good. Nice, looking good. And now breathe into the heart and let the belly soften on the exhale. So with your mind, you can actually direct your breath all the way to the collarbones, all the way to the belly, to the hips. So an inhale can be towards the heart space, a nice opening of the lungs, of your energetical heart space. And then a softening towards your belly button. And I like to use metaphors or visions. So on the inhale, I imagine something blossoming, something flowering. A fountain, a flowering of, a blossoming of the flowers. And on the exhale, the softening of water melting into earth. And that is the energy that you're trying to translate or bring towards your breath. And let's use, is it the last practice of the year? No, we'll still be here next week. I'll still be here next week. Not on Monday, but I'll be here on Thursday. But we can already use this space, if you want to kind of set an intention for the new year. And I know that lots of people use this new start of the year for new habits. But maybe you can pick a word: truth, peace, love, patience, an energy that you'd like to cultivate, which kind of has an impact on everything you do and say. Grounding, motivation, consistency, calming, slowing down. Stay with the breath, and I'll let you know when it's time to move again. Stay with that breath, in through the heart space. Out of the mouth, softening of your intestines, your tummy. Taking a word can help you be mindful in 2023. Mindful in what you say, mindful in what you do. And often I like to pick something that is a bit unnatural, the opposite of my tendencies. So I'm a busy person, so it's often something like, let's slow down or surrender a little bit more rather than controlling life. Things like that. It's just interesting to explore how that will reveal into your day-to-day life. Let's take 3 more rounds of breath here. From here, you bring your hands towards the back of the head and lift your head and bring your chin towards your chest so you can look at your belly button. Feel the stretch in the back of the neck. Maybe already notice a bit of calmer energy. And then roll onto a side. Remove your props and we'll need a block for the next one. My favorite one of my favorite shapes, it's supported bridge pose. Actually, no, let's start with a wind removal pose on the right side. Change my mind. No, I'm changing my mind again. So, supported bridge pose, you place the block right underneath your hips. It can be in the lower setting, can be in the medium setting. Now, one of the things, or the higher setting. In the normal world, we classify things as better and worse. So higher would be better, but in this world of yin, it's feeling into what feels better. And where can your body, over time, maybe find an edge, but we don't start with the edge. So just feel. All good, Emma? So a cat fly into the screen. So if you want to use 2 blocks on top of each other or a pillow, you'll take the first moment of the shape, the asana, to just feel. And then you go, oh yeah, this is where I want to be. So you can go higher if you want to. Monet, I would use my block. My block is like so much softer. And then you can put it low, feel how that feels. This is also a very nice one for us runners. You can obviously put it higher if you want, and just tilt it, see how that feels. Take 2-3 rounds of breath and then decide. Nice. And the feet are hip width apart, the feet are under the knees. Nice. A very nice one for your hip flexors, your psoas, and you are slightly inverted. So that is also good for your organs. And then if you want, your palms are facing up. So again, you've got an opening through the collarbones, an external rotation. In these shapes, we also try to counter any shape that we take on. So there's a lot of rounding forward with our driving, our dishwashing, our computer work, all of that. So here we open up the chest, open up the heart. What can you soften on the exhale? Soften the jaw, a little bit of space between the top row of teeth and the bottom row of teeth. Your bottom jaw can kind of hang. So your face is relaxed. Your jaw is relaxed. And a sigh is always welcome. Also build up of energy in the body and you go like, I can just let go. Just let go and just be. Four to 6 counts to breathe into the nose. 6 to 8 counts to slowly breathe out of the mouth. An expansion, a bigger, becoming bigger space on the inhale. And softness, surrender, letting go on the exhale. Can you notice your breath travel in and out of the body? Breathe all the way down to the pelvis. So can you bring the air into the lungs, towards your hips, towards the bowl of your hips? Maybe your belly even rises and falls a bit. Three more rounds of breath here. Slowly lift your hips off your block and just slowly, as if you're moving through honey, let the pelvis come back onto the floor, and then place your right hand on your tummy and your left hand on the heart. And take a nice couple of deep breaths in and out. Some poses you feel the edge quite quickly, and others you don't, and that's okay. It's very subtle, even energetical. So you might not notice it now, but on the long term, there's shifts happening in the body. Roll onto a side, and then slowly come up to a seated position. Face the front of the mat. Let's actually start. Yeah, let's start with this one. So you're going to place your right thigh parallel. So you have to just bear with me. Face the front, face the front. Look at the short edge of your mat. Okay, this is maybe an easier instruction. Take the top corner, the left top corner of the mat. Look at it, and your knee is going to be the same as that one. That makes sense. So the thigh, yes, the right knee and the left top corner of the mat. Right leg in front. Yes, 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 yes. And think thigh, 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 parallel to front of edge of mat. So I want to see your thigh. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Turn more, turn more. Maybe look at your neighbor. So you need to turn your legs more. You're here. Yeah. That's it. Nice. This is a nice one for the lower back. If you need my bolster, Monet, I'll happily give it to you. So you can go here. You can stay here. You can slowly bring your elbows down onto the floor. Now, if it's too tight for you, bring your right knee a little bit down, away from you. Now you can prop yourself up, place a pillow under your head. I'd like you to feel this, Monet. This is going to be nice for you. Trust. And just lift your chest a little. Yeah, and just let your whole body rest. Now, if you can't breathe, you can obviously, how's this feel? Is it too tight? Good. Okay. So I'm just going to help you there. Yeah. So just come up there. And then this one goes. Bend it, bend it, bend it. Yes. How does that feel? Good. We're here. We're landed. Let me check online. Am I happy? Can't see your legs, but I assume because you're used to my instruction. And Andrea looks good. Fabulous. Now, what can you soften? If you don't have any props, you can even use your hands, put them on top of each other and use that as a pillow. And now think about your toes, your big toe, your second toe, third toe, and relax all of them. Maybe wiggle them a little. Those are your, your nerve endings in the soles of the feet. So let the soles of the feet relax. Let the toes relax. Let them almost be jelly-like. And that has a ripple effect on the ankle, the knee, all the nerves. Just let them soften. Today is quite a gentle practice. Some poses are more challenging, physically, mentally, or energetically. And today's focus is really just to soften, to be. Not too many sharp edges, I think. So stay in that sweet feeling, that blissful stillness. And just breathe. Maybe swallow. Weten your lips and swallow so you can relax your lips, your jaw. That has an effect on the joint of the jaw, and that even has an effect on your skull, your brain. Everything is connected. Couple more rounds of breath here. Slowly bring your hands closer to your chest. Move slowly. The body is very passive. The muscles, the fascia is soft. And then just come into a kneeling. So we're still going to do two little poses that have a bit of a stronger edge, which is toe seat. Very healthy for the nerve ending. So you can bring your big toes to touch. I even like to manually open them a little bit. And then you can place your knees down to the floor. Now, this is where the different options will come in. So this is the pose that we're going to hold. We're not going to hold it for as long as we did the other ones. I'll set my timer already. But for many people, this is quite challenging. So if this is too challenging for you, the option would be to place a pillow here. So there's a little bit more of leaning forward of the chest. In general, you can also lean forward. So the bigger the pillow is here, the easier it will become. If you've worn a lot of, yeah, I can see the facial expressions already. If you've worn a lot of heels in your life, so this is sort of the feet health. And I'll just breathe. Notice the edge. We won't be here for long. Toes, ankles, but specifically we're working here on those ends, the nerve endings in the soles of the feet. Happy feet, happy body. And you can do this every day. Put a timer for 2 minutes while you're watching TV, or even in a phone call. Might not be as easy to stay concentrated on the conversation, but yeah, it's always possible to just give the soles of the feet some love, some attention. We're halfway, so stay with the breath. Feel how the lungs expand forward, backwards in 360 degrees. There's like this filling up, and then just a softness and effortlessness. You can always move out. In yin yoga, there is no you have to stay here, you should stay here. None of that exists. You can always just move out, move towards the edge, or move a little bit away from the edge. That is up to you. This is your practice. 4 or 5 more rounds of breath. Ooh, I can see the smiles on the faces. The moving out, yeah, Jeremy. The moving out is often a little bit like, oh, yeah, something has happened. So move slowly, place your hands forward onto the mat. Now you can wiggle your toes, or just give them little taps. I don't know a lot of people that do not feel that. And you can practice it. It gets better and better and better. More space, more release. Any resistance that the body is holding on to, we just need to breathe through. So the sister or the brother of that shape, the counter pose, is to point your toes, and we're also going to sit on our heels. Interesting fact, there are people, their feet are a bit like that. So they've got tight fronts of the feet. It's just as challenging to sit for them like this as it was for us to sit in the other way. But for most people, this is a lot easier. If you want to make this more challenging, you can place something under your knees and you'll feel more of a lift. You can also do that with your hands, but then there's a bit of effort. If you want to roll up your mat, you can also do that. And that's enough. Close your eyes. Know that you can move your upper body, the weight of your body, a little bit forward to make it easier. And just breathe. We notice the sensations. We notice the breath. It's interesting. I was doing I was practicing a yoga class this week, and it was a vinyasa class. It was so fast. I felt I was in a fast forward movie, like as if it was fast forwarded 2 times, and I couldn't feel my body. I couldn't be in the experience. So it's almost like when you slow life down a little bit, you notice, like if you would, I mean, Mone and I ran on Sunday. If you would hike or you run a route, I'm not saying that the one is better than the other, but you notice different things. If you're running, it's just these images, flash, 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 flash. You've got an amazing feeling. But when you want to be on the path and really take the environment in, and this can be translated into you want to take life in, sometimes you just need to slow down and really just look and feel and be and admire this moment, this experience, this life, this day. I think nature gives us that gift. It's art on its own. We can be in awe of the beauty of the trees, the animals, the ocean, the mountains. And we can teach ourselves to look deeper. Look to the colors of the flowers, the movement of the bees, the birds. All right, that was that one. So you can do the same thing. Ooh, yeah. So when you feel that, like, woof, that means that your body is grateful now that you did that. It's like, thank you, I needed that. Good. Let's go on to the tummy for Sphinx pose. A nice one for the kidneys, nice one for the lower back as well. Now it's up to you to decide to feel how high you want your chest. It's not an effort for the lower back. The lower back is soft. Even you can poke your bum. They're not engaged. It's a soft bum. If you want to make this a little less, you just walk your elbows a little bit more forward, and there's more of a release. Now the last thing you could do is to relax your brain and your neck, because your neck carries your head and your very intelligent brain the entire day. So letting your head rest gives this softness here around the back of the neck. This block is a bit uncomfortable because it's made out of wood. Maybe I can put this one softer. Yeah, that's much better. And then we commit to stillness again. Your kidneys are getting a little bit of a squeeze, if we can call it that. Just maybe wiggle your toes again, just a reminder that they can be still and soft. And because your chest is lifted, it's actually relatively easy to breathe slow and deep. Allowing yourself to have a conversation with your body, with your mind, with your heart, with your spirit, allows you to also practice listening to what you need, what serves you, trusting your intuition. So if your body is telling you, this edge is too strong, please move your elbows a little forward. And then come back to the breath, to the stillness. Maybe to the word or the words that pop up for this day, for this evening, for this holiday, or maybe already working towards, hey, what's going to be the word of the year for 2023? Maybe more yin, maybe more being, maybe more peace, maybe more you time, maybe more self-love, maybe more love. Maybe more playfulness, maybe more tapas, discipline. There are so many words we can pick. You can even pick a word a month. I like to just have a yearly word. So a year I was focusing on the feminine energy, another year I was exploring the masculine energy. It's interesting, it's fascinating, it brings a bit of spice to life. You can observe yourself, think, act, and go like, what was that word again? Oh yeah, I wanted more peace in my life, I wanted more space, I wanted more time. Whatever it is, it will help you stay anchored, connected, and mindful in what you do. Let your buttocks be soft. Breathe towards the belly, but also towards the sides, the waist, and the lower back. And sometimes when you're still like this and so connected to breath and body, you might feel interesting sensations, tingling in the soles of the feet, heat, cold, resistance, space. Stay with the breath. A couple more rounds, we'll be still. Take one deep breath in and a nice soft sigh out. Remove whatever is underneath your head and then place your hands on top of each other and just for a moment let your head rest and totally soften your shoulders. A little easier to do some belly breathing here and letting the belly rise and fall, but also notice, bring your mind's eye to your lower back and notice how when you breathe in, there's a bit of space in the lower back. It lifts up. Often with our breath, it is easier to connect to the front of the body, but breathe into the back of the body as well. Feel the effects and feel how after the effect of the shape we took in just before and how the breath just allows for softness. All right, let's slowly bring your hands next to your rib cage. Come up and come into a child's pose. So your big toes touch. And this is a rounding of the spine. In our swings pose, the pose we did before the rebound, it's a back bend. And this is more of a rounding. Breathe towards your hips, towards the lower back. When you breathe in deeply and slowly, you might even feel how the space and the expansion of the ribs of the rib cage also brings your rib cage closer to your inner thighs. And then lift your head for a moment. You can bring your hands a little closer and then try to bring your knees as wide as you can, probably all the way to the edges of the mat, and then come back into your child's pose. You can also bring your hands on top of each other and use them again as a pillow, or you can reach them in front of you and let your head rest. Full breaths into the chest, into the waist, into the lower back. If your nose is squeezed, you can also put something under your head so your nose is free, so you can breathe freely. Bring fresh oxygen all throughout the body. The pranayama is breathing exercise. Prana means life force. Chi, that's also referred to sometimes. Breathe slow, breathe deep. And maybe a sigh. Where do you feel what? Do you feel most of the sensations around the feet, the heels, the hips, the knees, the inner thighs, the back? When I think of the ribs and really breathing, I sometimes even envision the gull, do you call them gulls of a fish? Like the shark, how they breathe into the sides. So pretend you've got those side little pockets and you can breathe into the armpits, into the sides of the ribs, filling up and letting go. These practices are energetically, physically, even mentally and emotionally like a reset, a recharge. Control Alt Delete Hub. Let's create, start, rejuvenate. Notice any resistance. We're here for a couple more rounds of breath. And remember, you don't have to stay here. You can always change your shape. But if you do so mindfully and slowly. 2 more rounds of breath. And walk your hands, crawl them towards you, crawl them towards your groin. Yeah. Often when we move out, that we're like, woo, knees together. Maybe come a little bit forward, and then we'll do that tricky one. So it's your left thigh that will come forward. So it's a 90-90, but your thigh is parallel with the short edge, with the short edge of your mat. And the other thigh, yes. So both knees are bent. And then you can shimmy your chest forward. Maybe close your eyes and take a couple of breaths here, because it's also quite a twist in your spine. So let the little blocks, the little vertebrae of your spine get used to the shape. And then you can come down. Again, if it's too much, move that left knee down, or even bring your upper body more over towards the right rather than straight forward. Shimmy and shuffle, and then you can come down in a way that feels good to you. Yeah, nice. Lovely uses of props. And come back to the breath. Our time is very precious. And what we do with our time is a decision. Sharing it, keeping it to yourself, who you share it with, be selective in with whom you share your energy. It's a gift. Time and spending time with someone is the most beautiful gift that you can give someone, but also yourself. I always like it when it's like, thank you for spending time with me. It's a lovely thing to say. And we'll be spending quite some time probably with others. So enjoy that and also recharge by spending some time by yourself. Stay with the breath. A softening of the toes, a softening of your soles of the feet, the ankles. And just breathe. Around 3-4 more rounds of breath here. Very passive, still, grounded, calm. Let's keep it simple. I know your head is, well, there's no wrong or right, but you're just gonna roll onto your back, onto your back, onto your back. Just don't care where your feet are. And just come into your Shavasana shape. So our pentacle, as we call it, feet as wide as the mat. If you want to cover your eyes with a towel and create some darkness, so you can really just let all the external impulses be far away, feel free to do so. Online, if you want to take your time and meditate or use the space, feel free to stay longer in your pentacle. I'll just close the meeting and just surrender in complete stillness. Take a deep breath into your nose. And a nice soft sigh out of the mouth. Keep your eyes closed, still very much focused on your experience, on your body in this calm, hopefully blissful state, at ease in the body. Stress levels reduced, your awareness increased, less scattered thoughts. Just really close to yourself, connected to self. But there is a world out there. So we're going to slowly pass the threshold and just, you can still keep your eyes closed. It's always nice to just stay with yourself and not get distracted yet by all the beautiful things that the eyes take in. So start to feel your fingers and your toes. Notice where they are and start to wiggle them. All the little bones. It is just magnificent how our body works and heals, and what it can do for us. Massive appreciation and gratitude for our health. Make the movements a little bigger, maybe squeeze your palms, point and flex your feet. A yawn and arms overhead might feel good. Nice big stretch. Up and over. And then you can hug your knees in towards your chest. Hello, body. Hello, me. Feels good to slow down, to just be. Roll onto a side and use your bottom arm, the arm closest to the floor, as a pillow for your head. So you can just roll onto a side and just lie there for a bit. Almost too good. Like you're like, oh, I wish I could just stay here. And then slowly come back up sideways without too much effort. Stay in that soft energy that we've created for ourselves. And it's there, it's inside us. Just a matter of allowing ourselves to rediscover that softness, that deep connectiveness. Whatever the word, intention, or dedication was, you can take it with you off your mat into the rest of this evening, this week, this month, maybe into the next year. Thank you for being here and for spending time with yourself and for showing up for yourself and for coming to class. From my heart to yours, namaste. Wonderful. I'm just going to say goodbye to online. Merry Christmas. Maybe see you next week. Bye, darling.